Hi there, welcome to this little experiential session of MyCube4Change. What I want to do now is just to give you an experience of one part of the grid, and it's the part that helps you take yourself to recognizing that next response or the new response that you would need to make. And because MyCube is so generic, you're going to do this all by yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to take you through 4 concepts on the grid, and we're going to ask you a question relating to each of those concepts. And what we're expecting is that whatever comes up for you naturally in the moment is what's right for you. So there are no perfect answers. All you have to do is ask yourself the question and allow what comes up for you to naturally surface, and then just to write it down. So what I need you to do is to ask yourself this question. In regards to my learning and change challenges right now, what am I struggling with? And as you ask yourself that question, just allow whatever comes up for you to be written down in the middle block of the grid. So now that you've become aware of the struggle and you've written it down in the central block of the grid, you need to ask yourself the next question. What do I need to let go of in order to relieve the struggle that I'm having? And allow whatever comes up for you to just come up for you. And then write it down in the bottom left-hand grid on your clipboard, the one marked 2. What I want you to do now is I want you to just go back to that original struggle that you were having. And I want you to see if you can identify the opposites that are causing your struggle. And every struggle has 2 opposing things. So it could be, well, I have all this money, but I don't have the time. Or I want to be with my family, but I have to work. So you can see the struggle is the need to be with family or the need to work to make money. So we have these natural tensions. So when you look at your struggle right now, look and see if you can see what the opposites are that are causing your struggle. So just look at that struggle, find the opposites, and then just write that down. Don't try to fix it or change it. Just see if you can discover the opposites. And now in this last block on the top left-hand corner, the one marked 4, what we want you to do now is we want you to think of the big picture. So when you look at your struggle that you're having, try and find what we would call the wisdom that's associated to that struggle that you're having. Try and find the big, simple solution. So as you look at your struggle and you think of this big, simple solution that relates to your struggle, write that down in that top left-hand corner. So then I want you to think about what you're good at. And just write down in that same block 1 or 2 words that would describe what you're good at. So now we've taken you through a process. We've taken you through a process of checks and balances, starting with the struggle, what you needed to let go of, what were the opposites causing the tension. We got you to look at the big picture and what you're good at. And at some stage on that journey, what would have naturally happened is something that you need to do, just one thing, would have surfaced for you at some stage. So as we got you to go through this process, your body would have naturally started to reflect, and it would have thought about a whole lot of permeations and stuff, and an idea would have come up which should have meant your next response. So what I want you to do now is to just think about what you're going to do based on this little short journey that we've taken you on. What is your next response in relation to the struggle that you're having? And I want you to write that down just off the grid where it says, what is your next response? In change and learning and growing, every single response is precious. And so as you have learned today, as you go through a very simple cycle, you can come up with that next response that you need to make. And it's one response at a time that we go through life and change and learn and grow. So I hope you've had a good time. I hope you've got a response that you can now go out and make. If you have any questions, you can find me outside and come and ask them.